There's one and only Luke Coffee.
Hey, Alex, how are you?
You guys know Luke.
Hey, guys.
On a serious note, Luke, I know that we're all a little stressed, but is it true that your case is going to be one that decides a lot of other people's cases? That's what I'm hearing.
I believe that, but I've yet to hear that.
I know, but you're a monumental. Is the sun okay? We're not backlit, are we?
No, that's fine. Just give some context.
Okay, everybody knows who Luke Coffee is. Luke Coffee is one of the more famous January Sixers. Sadly, he was right there when Roseanne Boylan passed away, and he tried to actually protect and help Roseanne Boylan. And now they're trying to charge you with a felony because what was the proper term? Because you guys interfered with a public official. What was it? What is it?
I assaulted a federal officer, and
according to them.
Well, the irony is Lila Morris was a DC Metro officer, and this is a secondary defense.
So she's not even a federal agent or whatever.
The two officers that they allegedly, or that they say I allegedly assaulted, which she said I never touched her at my trial.
Yeah.
They are not Capitol Police. They're DC. They're DC Metro officers. They didn't have the protocol to even be considered federal officers that day. So how did I assault them with a deadly weapon, a crutch?
Such BS.
So yeah, I'm at 231 days today.
Since your trial?
Since my trial with no verdict. Radio silence from the judge. It is most maddening, but I mean I think it's a good sign. But we don't know. There's a couple of my charges that are in appeals court, and again we challenged it. I mean, it was, I reacted in self-defense and the defense of others, Roseanne, and was trying to be a peacemaker. But the fact that she, I was charged with assaulting the cop that was beating me first with a wooden stick, not even a baton. And we're still waiting. Yeah. Here 7.5 months later for the judge.
And Luke's never been in trouble. I mean, this guy literally has a clean record and they're throwing the book at you. I think you're going to be okay, but I also don't know. I know you're stressed out. You showed a lot of remorse too. That's what makes you mad is you've already really done your punishment just the past few years, in my opinion.
What we do believe, Laura Logan has been doing a big series on Roseanne Boylan, a docuseries on the death of Roseanne Boylan. This woman was, they first said she died of a drug overdose, which this is all ironic because St. George Floyd, we know had fentanyl in his system. She was a drug counselor, had been sober for 7 years, and she had Adderall in her system that she was prescribed. So they also cremated her body without her family's permission, so they couldn't do a secondary. They did do one other autopsy, and she had beating around her head. There's video evidence now. 10 minutes before, I can't wait to go beat on some effing Trump supporters, allegedly.
Wow.
And then, so I went up there and I was saying, stop. We're family divided will not stand. Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah, you're saying
quote
that.
from the scripture. And so it's wild because I'm like in purgatory. It feels like
you are in purgatory.
Yeah.
Because this is, I'm not trying to complain, but I feel bad for you. I hate it for me. Like, I hate it for you obviously more, but I'm just saying, I'm like, what's going to happen to Luke? If I'm stressed, I can only imagine that you're stressed. Luke.
And they're saying it could go into the new year, a full calendar year without me knowing the verdict at this point. So it's wild because I could go from anywhere from, we're praying for a full acquittal and I'm going to be loud either way. If they put me in prison, I'm going to be loud. If they let me out, I'm going to be loud and say, what a ridiculous thing. Merrick Garland just went on, this is straight out of, we're living under a Marxist regime, okay?
Yeah.
The Merrick Garland,
his dad was a Marxist.
Merrick Garland just went on and gave this whole speech, and they were applauding him and saying that we're not, we're against politicizing our DOJ, and that's what Trump is going to do. And
it's already been done.
And this is out of Saul Alinsky's Rules for Radicals, the which Hillary Clinton's favorite book that is, it's dedicated to the greatest radical of all, Lucifer. And it's accusing the opposition party. It's the biggest communist tactic of exactly what you're doing. So it's the biggest gaslight opportunity. So it is completely what they're doing right now. I mean, what was disgusting yesterday or at the debate 2 days ago was Kamala is saying that this was worse than the Civil War. You know, this is the worst.
Worse than 9/11.
Yeah, and I posted the video of the British guy doing a voiceover that's showing Lectern guy and Jacob Chansley walking around on a tour. And so that's it's disgusting. On a serious note, to think about 2,500 families. She said it's worse than Pearl Harbor. They never bring up Oklahoma City bombing. That was pretty bad too, right?
That was very bad. Yeah.
On top of Waco and Ruby Ridge, but the fact that they say Pearl Harbor and yesterday 9/11, she didn't even mention 9/11 at the date. The night before doesn't mention 9/11, where 3,000 souls perished in a
not to mention the million Iraqis and all the firefighters and the cops that got cancer. So I mean, the number is just much bigger,
much more than 3,000. But the fact that that I posted that video today, and just everyone is furious and sharing this video, because that is a slap in the face to the families that Pearl Harbor, 2,500 citizens were lost in Pearl Harbor. And January 6th, 4 Americans lost their life. That's still horrible, but they were all Trump supporters. They continue to get debunked. The videos are debunking these claims that 7 police officers, 12, 14 police officers, not one officer died. Sicknick died the day after. He died of a brain aneurysm. This is completely what they're doing, is repeating the lie.
Okay, well, last
thing, MK Ultra.
Because the show's almost over. No, you're right. But we need Trump to win. Do you think, and listen, I have criticisms. I don't think Trump's helped out with January. I still love Donald Trump, but I don't think he's helped out enough. But if he does get into the White House, it has to make you feel a lot better, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to hold him to the, hold him to the fire, as far as he's saying day one, he's going to start doing the pardons. And we need to pray. Trump is our only hope for January 6ers. I mean, I think politically they're waiting to see where the winds are going before they sentence me. And I don't think we're trying to get this. The biggest thing you can tell people is there were 4 people that died that day, not just Ashley Babbitt. Why is Trump not saying another woman was beat to death? I mean, if the left knew if this was switched over and this was a black female, they'd be burning down cities, and there'd be another summer of love, or now fall of love. And that's what sucks. They haven't stood up. The American people have not stood up for these J6ers. There's 267 right now in federal prisons that are political prisoners. Nobody has had a opportunity for a change of venue. Constitutionally, we should have all our trials that should have been moved out. It's 100% conviction rate with a jury. It's 98.9 with a judge. That's why I did a bench trial. So I'm waiting now with my.
What's the best way they can support you? Praying, and how else?
I want y'all to pray for all the J6ers. Pray for God to Luke 8:17. Everything that is hidden will be revealed. And right before, we want to push out October that there was another woman was killed and beaten by a cop that was celebrated at the Super Bowl and has full immunity, and she beat to death an unconscious woman. Okay, and she's happened to be of color, a black lady. Okay, so we need to stand up, push this, that they've covered up a death. And the left does well as they rally. We need to rally and be loud, and that this is disgusting that they would cover it up. I mean, put you on the other foot, and everybody would be loud and anyway. So.
All right. Well, I love you, Luke.
I'm so fly, I'm aligned with the planes. My grind so refined, I got no time for no games. Ask yourself